As whispers of betrayal and heartbreak rippled through the village, the fear of what Mr. Tunde had done began to solidify into a terrible reality. The once beloved teacher, whose every word had been met with admiration and trust, now stood at the center of a storm he could not control. The girls who had once looked to him for guidance now looked at him with eyes full of fear and anger. Zainab's confession had been the tipping point. As she and the others gathered their courage, they realized that they could no longer stay silent. The weight of their experiences, their shattered innocence, and their broken trust became too heavy to carry. It was time to speak out, no matter the consequences. The following day, the girls met secretly in the village square. They sat in a small circle beneath the large mango tree, the leaves rustling as if the very earth itself was listening to their words. Zainab, who had always been the most timid of the group, spoke first. "I thought it was just me," she said, her voice trembling. "But now I know. We've all been used. Mr. Tunde made us believe he was helping us, but he was just using us." The other girls nodded, their eyes filled with both sorrow and determination. One by one they shared their stories, the manipulation, the confusion, and the dark lessons that had left them all with more scars than they could explain. It was not just physical, it was emotional, a deep betrayal that no one could have predicted. As the girls spoke, they realized that they were not just victims of Mr. Tunde's lies, but part of something much bigger. They were united now, bound by their shared experience and a common purpose, to bring the truth to light and stop him from ever hurting another soul. Jide, the boy who had first noticed something was amiss, overheard the conversation from a distance. His sharp eyes had not missed the girls' subtle glances or the way they avoided his gaze. He knew something was going on. But now, hearing the girls speak the truth, the weight of the situation hit him harder than he expected. He approached them cautiously, his voice low. "I know what you're saying is true, but what are you going to do about it? If we expose him, he will fight back. He's not the man he pretended to be. We need to be careful." Zainab looked up at Jide, her eyes filled with both fear and hope. "We don't know what to do," she confessed, "but we can't let him keep doing this, not to anyone else. We need to stop him, even if it means facing the consequences." Jide nodded solemnly. "You're right, but we have to act fast. Mr. Tunde is smart. He's already made connections in the village, and if he finds out what you're planning, he'll do anything to protect himself. We can't let that happen." The plan began to form as the girls, along with Jide, decided to confront the village elders. They knew that exposing Mr. Tunde's true nature would be difficult, but they also understood that if they didn't, others would fall victim to his deceit. They gathered the courage to go to the elders' meeting, a decision that filled them with dread, but also a sense of purpose. They would no longer be silent. When the day arrived, the village square was filled with the hum of anticipation. The elders, sitting in their customary circle beneath the shade of the baobab tree, looked on as Zainab and the other girls approached. The weight of the moment was evident in their expressions. They knew this was not going to be an ordinary meeting. Elder Olamide, her face etched with years of wisdom, looked at the girls with concern. "What is it you wish to speak of?" she asked, her voice gentle but firm. Zainab stepped forward, her heart pounding in her chest. "We have something to tell you," she began, her voice wavering but growing stronger with each word. "It's about Mr. Tunde. He's been using us, manipulating us, all the while pretending to teach us." The villagers listened in shocked silence as Zainab and the other girls recounted their experiences. The truth spilled out, raw and unfiltered, as each girl shared her story of manipulation and betrayal. The elders exchanged stunned glances, unable to comprehend the gravity of what they were hearing. Elder Olamide's voice trembled as she addressed them. "Are you certain of what you speak? This man? We trusted him. We allowed him to teach our children, to guide them, and now we hear these terrible things?" Zainab nodded, her eyes filled with unshed tears. "It's true. He used his position to manipulate us, and we're not the only ones. There may be others in the village, and we can't let him continue this." The elders were torn between disbelief and the undeniable truth in the girl's eyes. But the reality was clear. They could not ignore the pain and suffering that had been brought to light. Without hesitation, the elders called for Mr. Tunda to be brought before them. When he arrived, his usual confidence had been replaced by a tense wariness. He could sense that something was amiss, that his carefully crafted image was starting to crumble. "Mr. Tunda," Elder Olamide began, her voice grave, "we've heard troubling things about your actions. You stand accused of betraying the trust of these girls, of using your position to manipulate them." Mr. Tunde's face paled. He tried to deflect, to deny, but the evidence was undeniable. The girls stood united in their truth, their voices unwavering. He had no choice but to admit to his crimes. As the elders deliberated, the villagers gathered to witness the trial. The truth was now in the open, and there was no escaping it. The shame of Mr. Tunde's actions would forever stain the village, but the courage of the girls would leave a lasting mark as well. They had stood together, broken the silence, and had not let fear or shame keep them from speaking their truth. In the end, Mr. Tunda was exiled from the village, his reputation shattered, his manipulations exposed for all to see. The girls, though scarred by their experiences, found solace in the fact that they had taken control of their own story, that they had faced their abuser and reclaimed their power. The village, forever changed, began to heal. The elders took steps to ensure that such a betrayal would never happen again, strengthening the community's commitment to protecting their children, especially their daughters, from the dangers of manipulation and abuse. And as the sun set over Imara, casting a golden light over the fields and the village, the girls gathered together, their bond stronger than ever. They had been through the worst, but they had emerged as survivors. They would never again allow anyone to steal their futures. Their voices, once silenced by fear, had now become the loudest, most powerful force in the village, one that would protect future generations, ensuring that no one would ever again suffer in silence. The truth, no matter how painful, had set them free.